Good afternoon, Stampers. How is everybody today? We're continuing with our celebration. This is the last week that you can earn those celebration items. So I know so many of you had so many favorites. I hope you've gotten them all. If not, be sure to go to my store and make your purchase so that you can get them. So Diane brought you a fun project yesterday with that accordion fold card. I loved it. I love Seaside Spray, and I am so happy that she chose that as her card base. So she chose that of the DSP. So I am doing our DSP that is the Flower and Fields. I love both. I have made so many projects with both, but I thought, you know what? I'm going with my ultimate favorite. And I'm so happy that Diane picked her favorite, so I could choose my favorite out of the DSP, the 12 by 12s. So I'm also using Corner Bouquet and Heal Your Heart stamp sets. Both of them are also celebration selections, and everything that I'm using today is a level 1, so you can get it with a $50 purchase. So let me get my computer set up. Hello, Paula. How are you doing today? I'm happy to see you on here. Okay, just getting my computer up. They are still working up on my floor on my second level. So you may hear a little bit of pounding. They were hoping to be done in time for my live. They only have like 2 pieces left, and they said, can we get those 2 pieces done? And I said, absolutely, go ahead and get it done so you can continue on doing what else you need to do. So let me get in here. Okay, so I can see your comments. I can see me. I need to move my cleaner here so that I can put my laptop up there. So, oops, it's asking me to share with Stampin' Leaders, and I don't want to do that. Let me grab a water. Okay. Do you see behind me now? It's changed. I decided to put all my stamp sets and my blends behind me with my ink pads. I originally had them on the end of my island here, and I could just grab them. I haven't decided if I quite like them behind me. I like the look, but logistically, the way I work, I don't know if it's going to work out. We'll see in the future. I don't grab too many stamp sets while I'm on live and while I'm doing my YouTube. So I'm just hoping that, my computer is popping up all kinds of things with my security. I know I'm on, I'm okay. So Paula says, hello, and love the sunshine today. Me too, and the snow is melting, yay! The only thing is, if you've ever been to my studio, I have an outdoor entrance to my basement, and at the bottom we have a drain which drains into the ground, which is still frozen. So all the water's running down there and it's building up. And when it builds up so high, it actually comes underneath the basement door into my basement. So I'm hoping that that is not the issue. I was hoping to get the ice scraped off all of the stairs before I started, and I didn't get it done. So that's on my list to do if it's not melted by the time I'm done today, because it's melting pretty quick out there. All the icicles off the front of my house, and the ice damming is starting to melt away. So that's, good for us. We got a couple of nice days, and then we're supposed to get more snow, I heard, this weekend. Hope not. I hope, you know what? I hope it's snow and not rain. Because with the ground frozen, that rain's going to have no place to go. And just think of our people, in the lower part of the state. They're going to have major flooding. They get flooding anyways in the spring, but I think that they'll be even happen earlier because the freezing has gone so far down and so deep this year. Hello, Elisa. How are you? Thanks for coming on today. So I'm going to switch the camera around and let's get started, okay? So this paper is nice and bright. Almost lost you guys there. I must have hit something. So that's another reason why I'm glad I've got this, because this paper is just filled with bright springy colors. I love the back patterns. You know, it just screams springtime. So I know I am going to be bringing some more projects using the Designer Series paper intermittently on here. Not much, because I don't like to use retired product too much because you can't buy it. But, you know, I don't know if I have a special coming up or something, you know, I may use it. But today is pretty much going to be it for using it this week. So I'm going to book out some cards. Like I said, we're using the corner bouquet. I'm using this image here and this smaller flower image up here. In the Heal Your Heart, I'm going to use a thank you. I just love the fonts in here. And you know, I was reading these this morning again, and I thought, you know, it says, I can't promise to always fix your problems, but I can promise you won't ever face them alone. That can go for a sympathy card, but you know what? It can also, I could put that in one of my cards when I send it to you when you place an order, just to let you know that I'm always here for you. You know, and I don't know what I'd do without you. That's another one. So we're in this together. So several of these verses on here in the sentiments can be used for other than sympathy. So keep that in mind. Oh, hang on just a second. I just noticed I left my, my spongy in my sink. Hang on. Give me a second. It's a good thing my basement isn't big. So got my chamois. Okay, so we're going to start out with a piece of cherry cobbler. And I'm going to give you two choices. I'm going to let you guys choose the Designer Series paper that I use for my project here. And whatever I don't use, I am going to use in Diane's live. So do you like that together on there? Or do you like this together? So one, and this is number 2. So let me know which you like. Yeah, Elise, this DSP is beautiful. So number 1 or number 2? That is the first option. So you got a little bit of time here. I'm going to go ahead and do some stamping, because the stamping is not going to matter with what you choose. So I've got my Stamparatus already set up. And I've got 2 pieces of 2x2 basic white and 2 pieces of 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 basic black. And then I've got a mat of basic black that's 4 by 5 1/4, which we're going to use. And it doesn't matter which side that you choose. Now I mixed up my, oh, I know which, okay. So I'm going to place my first one up here. And I've stamped the image, so I know where it's going to stamp. So I want the first image to stamp farther down on the paper. So I am going to go all the way up to there and put my magnet down here. My first stamped image is going to be with Petal Pink. Grab one of my stamp sets to put it underneath my Stamparatus here. So like I said, I'm going to stamp with the Petal Pink first. Oops, I've got to move my magnet a little bit. Just a little bit in the way. Okay, we've got 1 vote for number 1 and 1 vote for number 2. We need some tiebreakers here. So vote, you guys, number 1 or number 2. If you came on late, what we're voting on is number 1 is this Designer Series paper, and number 2 would be this. So that's the 2 choices, number 2 and number 1. I believe I showed that right. I moved them and now I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm going to take this down and I am going to move it down 1/4 inch. And a little bit, just a little smidgen, because I want a second layer, but my second layer is going to be cherry cobbler. So I'm going to layer one color on top of the other. Okay, Carmen says number 2, so number 2. Okay, Paula's number 2, Kay's number 2, Carmen's number 2. Uh-oh. Elisa, you're getting voted out. I'll tell you guys when you're done voting, when I stop the voting, I'll tell you which one's my favorite. Both of them are gorgeous. Okay, and then we're going to layer this on so it's a second layer. So you may have noticed when I stamped it the first time, it didn't go all the way to the corner, but that's hidden. See, the pink didn't go all the way down. And so this is the image that we're left with. Isn't it gorgeous? So we're going to go ahead and let me clean off my stamp. And we are going to stamp our second square. So there's still time for voting, you guys, so don't give up. Okay, so now I have my Memento ink. And I'm going to take my Memento ink and my thank you and put it on the second card. You guys are going to have some choices here today. I am designing on the fly just like Diane did yesterday. I have the ideas, but I don't pre-do my cards, you guys. I always stamp on the fly. I'm just, you know, if it turns out the way I have it envisioned in my head, that's awesome. But I can tell you it doesn't always turn out that way. Okay, so now I'm going to take this little flower image and I'm going to start with my lighter color, and I am adding Bumblebee to the mix. Oh, Lisa, as long as you're not voted off the island. That's crazy. Oh, so I'm starting with my petal pink, and I am going to add 3 flowers. So there's 1, and I'm going to do it in a triangle so your eye goes around the paper. Go ahead and clean it off and go to my bumblebee. And I'm going to do the same thing with my bumblebee. I'm going to add 3 flowers. 1, 2, and let's do the third one right up over here. Okay, so now we have 6. That's not good, so we need 3 more. So we're going to go for that cherry cobbler. And we're going to break it up a little bit. 2 and 3. So that is going to be our verse layer. So, brave. I'm brave, huh? Oh, because I do it on, you know, Elise, I have been doing it on the fly just because, you know, when I first started doing my YouTube videos many years ago, and my projects, I would have practiced them and practiced them, and then I found that when I was on screen and doing my things on camera, if I goofed up, I noticed it, and then it was like, oh my gosh, when my, you know, kind of do type thing, and I kind of stalled a little bit. So I found that if I design it in my head and not completely do it, and then do it on screen, it's okay because, you know, I have it in my head. I haven't done it on paper yet. So that's just me. Not everybody can design that way. And I know that. It's just the way I fly. And everybody does it different. And, you know, that's okay. So we've got these. So number 2, 1. And that is this right here. So we are going to take these pieces and let me fold on my score line. And you're going to notice this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. And I scored it at 5 1/2. So it is a little bit different. Okay, grab my Designer Series paper. And you'll notice that I just used the reverse side. So I could have done the polka dots as my main and then the flower as the strip, but I cut this on the side instead, so my card would have to go this way actually if I did it that way. And I just cut it from a scrap. I didn't want to cut from another piece because I'm going to be doing some scrapbooking with this paper. I'm going to be starting a scrapbooking group. And the scrapbooking group, you guys, is not going to be me showing you layouts. What it's going to be is we're going to be scrapbooking together. So I'm going to have you have some pieces of paper. Sometimes I'll tell you to have some sizes and we'll do a layout with what you have for, you know, what you're planning. And I'll have mine for what I'm planning. Sorry, I needed another drink of water. My throat is really dry today. Okay, so now we have these two. We have a choice. At first I was going to do it this way. And then I thought, you know what? I don't have to do it that way. I could do it this way. So option number 1 is having the flowers come down. And see how these flowers kind of match this in the background? And I think that they match better than these, but it still goes. In fact, this one, I'm going to use different colors on it. Instead of using the pink and cherry, I am going to be using the blues instead. Okay, so number 1, number 2, or we could even do it this way for number 3. I'm going to tell you I'm going to have some embellishments up here. So I'm thinking that if we do it this way, it would go that way, or just flip them and that way. So this is choice number 1 and choice number 2. Let's see how quickly Elisa answers this time, since she was voted off the island last time. So you guys vote and let me know which ones you want me to, which way you want me to do this layout. In the meantime, I'm going to grab my pearls, and I am going to grab a piece of basic white for the inside. So our basic white for the inside is going to be stamped with these little flowers again. So let me open up my ink pads. And let's see. So, Elisa? Oh, I have to laugh. Elisa says number 1 again. Carmen and Kay say number 2. So, anybody else going to vote? We have more people on here, so vote. So you're counted. So I am just going to, you know what? I'm going to do the, I can't always promise to fix your problems. I really wanted to use that. You know, I was just thrilled when I really, you know, read and thought about it this morning. I thought, you know, that can go for stamping. You know, you guys know that I always have opportunities that I am fixing while I am on. Okay, so we're going to put that here, right in the center. Oh, I don't like the way that came out. 2 sides, talking about opportunities, 2 sides to every piece of paper, right? Let's try this again. And if all else fails, we get a strip and add the strip. Okay, that'll do. I'm okay with that. So we're going to start with our light color again, and I'm going to stamp 1 of each color on the inside, just to pull that from the front of the card to the inside of the card. Okay. Oh, no, there was a number 3. Paula says number 3. Okay, so we have Paula number 3. We have Elise at number 1, and we have Carmen and Kay at number 2, but now Paula just changed to number 2. Okay, so this is number 2, which was number 3, but I just changed it because I know we're going to have some embellishments up there. This is number 2. This is number 1. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my inside of the card to the inside. And so far, number 2 has won. So, Elisa, you're voted off the island. No, not really. I love it when you guys don't agree. I love it when it's tied and then you guys start talking to each other and try talking the other people into something else. And usually what happens is two people change their mind to the other number, so it's still tied. And it's just a hoot. I kind of enjoy that. So I am thinking that you guys voted for Lisa. You crack me up. We voted for number 2. Sorry, Elisa, you're voted off. You know, we've had some people on here voting, and inevitably one person always votes for one number, and it just that they like that number, and then the other people vote against them, and it's like, no. And then, you know, she'll start saying, but this is why I like number 1, or, you know, like number 2, you know, this and this. And then people change their minds and they second guess themselves. Don't do that. You know, it's it's okay. It goes either way. And, you know, we can make 2 cards. We can make one with the number 1 up and the second one with number 2 up, you know. So we are going to go, this is going to go underneath. So I want to place this down here, just like that. And you'll notice that I put them on dimensionals. And this one I put too far down because I want this to lay over that other layer. So I'll just get it up. And there we go. And this one will go over that corner a little bit, and it is down a little bit farther. I want to bring it in so you see that designer series paper. This is a really quick layout. Now, if we had used the other paper, and to begin with, I was using the other paper because I had colored my pearls all black, but the black doesn't look good on this side. It doesn't show up enough, so I did them with dark cherry cobbler. So I am just going to place these up here, place the 2 farther ones first, and then place the center one in the center to line it up and distancing even. So just like that. So that's today's card. What do you guys think? I'm so sorry, Elisa. So once again, you know, this is probably a stamp set that you wouldn't have chose to use this paper, but it works. And it works with either pattern, you guys. So I hope you guys got everything. And if not, don't forget your orders have to be placed by the end of the day, Sunday, to get those celebration items. And I encourage you that if you want it, get it now because they're going to be gone forever. Our next celebration is going to be this summer, and it will be totally different product, you guys. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today and yesterday's project. And then until next time, everybody, happy stamping. Bye-bye.